Hi there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by and thanks for watching another episode. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your support. Today we have a grammar exercise. We are going to test the knowledge of our irregular verbs in the perfectum. But before we do that, remember to give the like if you like this content, subscribe to the channel if you want more content, and let me know in the comments if these exercises were useful for you. And let me know how many you got wrong and how many you got correct. Alright, but without much further ado, let's go straight for the exercise. Alright, so first of all, I'll explain to you a little bit how will we do this exercise. Well, you see the first slide, and on the first slide you will see a verb, right? And then on the second slide you'll need to give the first form in the perfectum, right? If you don't remember what the perfectum is, click on the following link and I'll make a video about how to form and when to use the perfectum. Give you a little bit of a repetition. The perfectum would be I have done, I have seen, I have gone. So this is the form we need in Dutch. So we'll do the first exercise together for you to get a better grasp on how to complete the exercise. And then you also have an idea on what to do really. And don't forget to pause the video if you want to think a little bit longer. Sometimes you see a verb but you're not really 100% sure about the irregular past participle, so then pausing can help you out. And before we start, I want to say all of these verbs are irregular, all right? None of them is regular, so you kind of have to know them by heart, but the verbs are actually quite useful because these are verbs we use all the time in Dutch. So the first one we'll do together. So the first one is drinken, right? Drinken means to drink. So now you have to say I have drunk. How do you say that in Dutch? Well, the correct answer is ik heb gedronken. All right. So this is basically what we're looking for. So you'll see the verb and then you'll have to put it in the first form of the perfectum, right? So we'll go to oefening 2, so exercise 2, and that would be vinden, right? So how would you say I have found? Remember to pause if you want to think a little bit longer. And that would be ik heb gevonden. Ik heb gevonden. We'll go to the next one, and that would be blijven. Blijven means to stay. How would you say in Dutch, I have stayed, right? Well, the correct answer is coming your way, and it's ik ben gebleven. All right, two things which are irregular here. Blijven gebleven, so the past participle is irregular, but also the verb, the auxiliary verb is zijn and not hebben, right? So blijven is a verb which is always going with the auxiliary verb zijn in the perfectum. So quite important to know that. The next one is beginnen. Beginnen means to begin. How would you say I have begun? Okay, let's check. Well, it would be ik ben begonnen. I have begun, again, two things which are irregular. Begonnen, begun, and ben, auxiliary verb, zijn. Alright? Beginnen is also one of these verbs which is always going with the auxiliary verb, zijn. The next one is lezen. Lezen is to read. So how would you say I have read? Well, let's find out. And that would be ik heb gelezen. I have read is ik heb gelezen. Right, we'll go to the next one. The next one is lachen, to laugh. I have laughed. How would you say that in Dutch? Well, let's find out. And it's ik heb gelachen. Ik heb gelachen, I have laughed. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. Oefening 7. Schrijven. Schrijven is to write. How would you say I have written? Let's check it out. And it would be ik heb geschreven. I have written. Ik heb geschreven. We'll take a look at oefening 8, exercise 8. Kiezen, to choose. I have chosen. How would you say that in Dutch? Remember to give it a pause if you want to think a little bit longer. And we're going to check the answer. And the answer is ik heb gekozen. I have chosen. Ik heb gekozen. Okay, the next one, oefening 9, worden, to become. So how would you say I have become? Let's check it out. And it would be ik ben geworden. So worden, also one of these verbs which is always going with the auxiliary, the helper verb zijn. Ik ben geworden, I have become. Okay, we're halfway. Oefening 10, exercise 10, and we have zijn, the verb to be. So how would you say I have been? This one for sure is irregular. Remember to give it a pause if you want to think a bit longer. And let's check the correct answer. I have been is ik ben geweest. Also, it's going with the auxiliary verb zijn, and the past participle is completely different. Okay, oefening 11. To bake is bakken in Dutch. So how would you say I have baked? I've baked the cake, for instance. Well, let's check it out. And that would be gebakken. Ik heb gebakken. I've baked the cake is ik heb een cake gebakken, for instance. We go to exercise 12, oefening 12, proeven. Proeven is to taste. So how would you say I have tasted? Let's check it out. And that would be ik heb geproefd. Now this one is not really that irregular. However, the only thing which changes is that V of the base of the verb is becoming an F. So if you follow the soft catch-up rules, you would think, okay, the base of the verb in this case is ending with an F, so I have to add a T. No, it's an exception. It will be a D. All right, I have tasted. Ik heb geproefd, ending on FD. We'll go to exercise 13, oefening 13. Genieten is to enjoy, very important verb. So how would you say I have enjoyed? Let's check it out. Ik heb genoten. I have enjoyed is ik heb genoten, also completely irregular. We'll continue to number 14. 14 is helpen, to help, very close to English. So how would you say I have helped? Okay, remember to give it a pause if you want to think a little bit longer. And that would be ik heb geholpen. I have helped is ik heb geholpen. Oefening 15. Oefening 15 is roepen. Roepen is to shout. So how would you say I have shouted? Okay, let's check it out. And that would be ik heb geroepen. Ik heb geroepen. I have shouted. Okay, we'll go to number 16. 16 is vallen. Vallen is to fall down. So how would you say I have fallen? I've fallen on the ground, for instance. Okay, so we'll give it a look and we will see ik ben gevallen. Past participle is irregular and also the auxiliary verb is zijn. Now, if you're not really sure when to use hebben or zijn as an auxiliary verb in Dutch, click on the following link. I made a video about it which might make your life easier in that regard. Because in this case, vallen is an intransitive verb and it represents a change of state. So that is why you use zijn. But if you want a little bit more information regarding this difference between zijn and hebben, click on the following link and you'll be golden. Alright, oefening 17. 17 is zoeken. Zoeken is to search. So how would you say I have searched? Well, that would be ik heb gezocht. Ik heb gezocht. That would be the correct translation in Dutch for I have searched. Number 18. 18 is zwijgen, so it's to be quiet. So how would you say I have been quiet? And that would be ik heb gezwegen. Ik heb gezwegen. That would be the correct answer. Number 19 is vangen. Vangen is to catch. So how would you say I have caught? Well, let's check it out. And that would be ik heb gevangen. I have caught is ik heb gevangen. And then we'll go take a look at the last one. And the last one is dragen. Dragen is to carry or to wear. So how would you say I have carried? Okay? And that would be ik heb gedragen. Alright, so this was the last exercise. I have carried is ik heb gedragen. Okay, we come to the end of the exercise. I hope you found it useful. I hope you did well. I hope you learned something new. As always, remember to give it a like if you like this content, subscribe if you want more, and let me know in the comments if these exercises were useful for you, and let me also know how well you did. Did you get many wrong? Did you get many right? And so on. So, as for me, I want to thank you again for watching this episode. I wish you a great rest of the day, and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1. Ciao.